Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody from all over the world. Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Education and Research Committee, I want to welcome everyone to our first SLUNAAI Zoomustahan event. As the chairperson, it is a privilege to virtually meet every Luisian all over the world. Amidst the pandemic, we have shown our resilience and compassion in our dedication to give ourselves in the line of service. And today, with our Zoomustahan, we have invited a very inspiring person who has been a pillar in the nursing profession for more than 4 decades. We will be hearing the story of Dr. Mary Grace Lacanaria, who has been the Dean for the SLU School of Nursing since 2001. She is a strong advocate for quality nursing education and currently one of the research peer reviewers of the Philippine Journal of Nursing Education. But most of all, she has played a significant role in the founding of SLUNAAI. Dr. Mary Grace Lacanaria has encouraged Dr. Dino Deliente to create an international organization for SLU School of Nursing graduates. Let us watch the short video of how it all started for Dr. Mary Grace Lacanaria.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. So I'd like to share my experiences through pictures and of course some brief explanation of these pictures as I move on. Okay, so of course I would like to be recognized as one of the nurses from St. Louis University, having graduated also at the SLU School of Nursing for my post-GN, for my master's degree in education, my master's degree in nursing, and my doctorate degree in educational management. So, of course, at this point, I'm sure everybody is interested to know about SLU and the different updates sa SLU. So I'd like to start with that one. So you might be seeing here some buildings. What you see on this side is the SLU guest house, which is now being converted into an international guestel that can eventually accommodate our guests and our international students and partners. And this one is the new campus at the Bakakeng campus. It now houses the SAMSIS, so that's a School of Accountancy, Management, and Computing Sciences. And below is the new building for the senior high. I think you already know that the educational system has been upgraded as benchmark from other countries. So we now have a mandatory kinder, 12 years of basic education. So instead of graduating in grade 10, we already have grade 11 and 12. So this building below house the senior high students of the university. Our Burgos Gym has also been upgraded and newly renovated with LED screens and with CCTV and much enhanced sound system. On the other side, you can see the solar panel of almost all buildings this time, and this significantly reduced the electricity consumption of SLU for a little less than 2 million for the last 7 months that it was fully operational. And then, of course, may bago tayong chapel, and beside it, may mga bells na tayo na sa alam na natin, pag Angelus na, pag 12 noon na, pag may mass tayo. This is the new chapel. It's beside the Waldo Perfecto building, and this is the altar. So maganda ang kanyang architectural design. Yung dating chapel natin, ginawa na siyang convention hall. We recently used this sa aming annual strategic planning at dahil social distancing. So isa lang ang nakaupo per table, but this can be rearranged depending on the need of the group. So it can accommodate up to 350 conference type table. And this is the altar also with a good sound system and an LED screen. Yung dating covered court, this is beside Waldo Perfecto, has been converted into a 3-floor building. The top floor is a covered basketball court. Pwede rin yan multi-purpose. Kung may mga programs at saka events, pwedeng lagyan ng mga round tables and so on. At below, the first 2 floors has been converted into parking area for the employees. So, and guests as well. So, medyo nakaka-accommodate na tayo ng mas maraming sasakyan. Just in August, I guess, August or July, we already have the RFID scanner for faculty, students, and guests coming in and out of SLU. So, bago rin po yan. And then this is the architectural design for the additional buildings for SLU Hospital. So 2 tower yan. It is now being constructed sa dating lugar for the old males dormitory noon. Of course, the old hospital will still be there, and the doctors' clinics will still be on the other side. Meron na rin po tayong swimming pool, and this is located in the Bacakeng campus. The reason why this was put up is because of the change in the curriculum sa lahat ng programs sa college, where PE courses has now been structured. PE1 is on health and wellness. PE2 is on self-defense, so mga ngarate na sila. PE3 is aquatic, so lahat ng students magsiswimming na. And instead of bringing the students to some private or swimming pools for hire, SLU decided to make their own swimming pools for their students, and on weekends this can also be used by children and relatives of employees. Pero yung bagay na yan, pinag-aaralan pa yung guidelines. Okay, so sa Bacakeng campus ito, we started using it last school year when we already offered PE3 aquatics to our students. And because PE4 will be on outdoor endurance activities, SLU also put up the, ano nang tawag dito? Yung ating climbing wall. 2 yan. So, naudlot lang. Oo, wall climbing. Naudlot lang ang gamit kasi nag-COVID na tayo. So, yung PE4, hindi nagagamit yan. Pero, working na yan. Okay, so, what else? Of course, we understand SLU has always been in the top in terms of our standing, not just in terms of academics, but also in research, in extension, in our national and international linkages. And in the Webometrics ranking, SLU is number 1 in Northern Luzon. We're number 15, I guess, or number 10, I'm sorry, in the Philippines, and we rank 1,000 plus in Asia, out of more than probably 20,000 universities in Asia. And on the other side, you will see the deans. in one CHED awarding where we receive our recognition as CHED Center of Excellence and CHED Center of Development. So we are a center of excellence in nursing, in teacher education, and in computing sciences, and centers of development in other programs in engineering, in natural sciences, and in accountancy. Okay, so this is the current administration of SLU. The top picture is a picture taken in one of our management development training in La Union, and below is a picture with some CHED officials as we were preparing for the CHED ISA, or the Institutional Sustainability Assessment recognition, which we got. Now, this is also a picture of the top management in one of our benchmarking activity in South Korea, when we benchmark with some Catholic, where we benchmark with a Catholic university, and then we also had our management training there as well. So SLU is engaging in all efforts to make sure that the university will continue to be recognized as one of the top schools, not just in the country, but also at least in Asia. And SLU has a memorandum of agreement with the City of Baguio, such that every year in December 1, SLU will have the Lantern Parade, where all the schools, including elementary and high school, is involved. These are pictures of some of the lanterns during last year's Lantern Parade. Very creatively done by our students. Ayan po. At dito po, ang School of Nursing kasi at that time, got Ifugao kasi namili-mili kami ng mga CICM areas. Naku, sorry po sa aming aso, maingay sila. And Ifugao ang aming nakuha, at ito ang lantern ng School of Nursing with the Banawi Rice Terraces and the like. And we got, I think we ranked third place in the competition. So, meron din po ang SLU actually is opening its products. Okay, actually yung bamboo water canister na yan, gawa sa SLU talaga yan. Yung clock, gawa rin yan ng ating mga empleyado, t-shirts, jackets. And here you can see meron din tayong customized na face mask. Tatlong design yan. And you can order. Kahit kayo ay nasa abroad, pwede rin yung ni-order sa Lazada, or you can contact our bookstore and it can be couriered to where you are. So please advertise our products also. Nagbabago rin yan every so often. And we encourage everyone also to register sa ating SLU alumni website para sa SLU alumni profiling ng university, kasama rin tayo. Even if we have a separate SLUNAAI. And this is the Facebook account of SLU. We also have our own separate SLU School of Nursing account. So, yun lang po yung mga brief na updates tungkol sa SLU. Now about the School of Nursing. Here you see the picture of the different deans of the School of Nursing. Si Dean Lara, syempre ang ating nangungunang dean, founding dean, and then Dean Fatima Fangayen. So pangatlong dean na po ako ngayon. I started holding the position in 2001 up to the present. And in recognition of the valuable contribution of Dean Lara to the School of Nursing, we started holding the Jesus B. Lara Lecture Series, of course, with the challenge posed by Dr. Castor Palaganas, meeting with Ruth Tingda and some other alumni officers like Rona Abul. And this is a picture when we unveiled the picture of Dean Lara showcasing the Jesus B. Lara Lecture Series. And to this date, we continue to offer this every year. We enjoin all alumni of different batches as well to join us. We just had our latest JBL lecture series in December. Okay, so yan po. And then, if you recall, yung mobile nursing clinic, this was also founded by Dean Lara. And ang pangalan na niya ngayon is Nursing Health and Development Program. And we recently got an award from the province. We call it the Everlasting Award. in recognition of the valuable contribution of our community nurses in community development, community health development. We also got an award from NEDA as one of the regional nominees for the outstanding outreach and extension program. So at least naalagaan itong MNC program na ito, and more of our faculty and students are involved in the MNC programs. This is the current profile of our faculty right now, and it continues to grow. At the moment, 80 na ang nursing faculty natin, and we still continue to hire kasi dumadami na rin ang ating students. So the first picture was taken during our last Christmas party, where each of the schools were assigned a country to represent, and we got USA, so naka-cowboy attire kami lahat. And below is a picture during one of our team building activities in San Juan. Of course, we're very proud to say that in the last board exam, last November, 100% tayo. So we ranked first place among the top performing schools, and this below is the picture of the batch that got 100%. Yeah, unfortunately this year, na-postpone ang mga board exams, supposed to be ngayong November because of COVID-19. So hopefully that will be scheduled early part of next year, so that our new graduates will already get their licenses. We continue to be recognized as a CHED Center of Excellence, although the plaque says until 2018, but this was extended by a CHED memo up to the present until such time that they will finalize the new guidelines and criteria to be recognized as a Center of Excellence or Center of Development. So we're waiting for that as well. We're also proud to say that SLU is ranked third among the top best Philippine university based on not just the performance in the board exam, but on the number of examinees, top performing examinees, accreditation, and faculty-student ratio. Siyempre, naunguna ang UST kasi consistently nasa top din sila in terms of board exam, and I think mas marami silang estudyante compared sa SLU. And syempre yung faculty-student ratio, because up to this time we are challenged really to hire qualified nursing faculty kasi ang minimum qualification ngayon sa Pilipinas is a master's degree in nursing and at least three years professional experience in nursing. So mahirap makakuha ng qualified faculty ngayon talaga. So among the centers of excellence, where we are one of the 6 out of more than 450 nursing schools, are Cebu Normal University, St. Paul University Tuguegarao, Siliman, University of the Philippines, and UST. And centers of developments are AUF, Bicol University, St. Paul Manila, Trinity University of Asia, UE, and West Visayas State University. So these are samples of pictures where I received our plaque of recognition as among the top performing schools based on the performance in the board exam. We recently upgraded our nursing laboratory facilities also. We recently purchased Apollo, which is a high fidelity mannequin that is now being used by our students for simulation. I struggled for the purchase of this for the last 3 years. Finally, na-approve ng administration because this cost 4.5 million. But it's worth it naman. At least kahit papano na-upgrade natin ang ating nursing lab. Aside, of course, from upgrading the other models and the other facilities of our nursing lab. Still in the same place, A507, although we extended sa ibang rooms sa 5th floor. And SLU is not only focused on academics and extension, but we also train our faculty and students to actively advocate for the welfare of the nurses. So last year, when PNA called for a national call for all nursing groups and nursing schools to advocate for the benefits of the nurses, SLU is among those who led, of course, in support with the Association of Deans of Philippine Colleges of Nursing, which I also incidentally head. So we pushed for the benefits of the nurses, implementation of salary grade 15, regularization of nurses, positive practice environment. So at an early stage, our students are trained to be active in advocating for the nursing profession in the Philippines. And this is one picture of our students and faculty in blue, because we believe blue is a dignified and an honoring way of advocating for our cause for nurses. So this is done simultaneously with other nursing schools also. And we posted these pictures on the social media that eventually also called the attention of our policymakers, and with all other rallies and advocacy activities of the nurses, medyo napakinggan naman tayo at na-approve ang salary grade 15 for beginning nursing positions in government hospitals. So this time we're pushing na isama rin ang private hospitals sa bagong bill na ginagawa, pinupush natin. So the School of Nursing also have active international partnerships with Indonesia. Ito po ay picture ng Indonesian students who came to SLU. Below is our partnership with Sweden, where I served as a visiting professor. So here is a picture of some of our nursing and social work students who went to Sweden. And in the picture are some of our team of faculty from Sweden and from Russia. So magandang exposure din ito. This is our partnership with Australia. Okay, our partnership with the school in Belgium. Okay, and some other partnerships as well. By the way, we also have our graduate programs, although unlike in the past where the graduate programs are under the School of Nursing, this time it is now under the School of Advanced Studies. So we have a master's degree in nursing and a doctor of philosophy in nursing. Okay, so these programs are offered through blended learning. Some of these courses are offered pure online. So we actually have students, especially in the doctorate program, who are in the US, some in UAE, and some other parts of the world. Okay, now we are now busy with implementing our programs, including the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program through flexible learning because of COVID. So we don't allow face-to-face learning at this point. It's pure distance learning. We prepared modules for our students who do not have or who have very poor internet connectivity. So we call this correspondence-based learning. And together with the modules, we give them a USB, an OTG USB that can be used in laptops and cell phones that includes all the e-resources, teacher-prepared videos, especially for the skills, and some other video materials that the students can use as supplementary reading materials. And CHED is not bent on allowing face-to-face learning at this time. So we are anticipating for the entire school year until March or May of this school year, hindi pa pwede ang face-to-face. So we are engaging in distance learning, and we are looking for alternative ways by which the clinical practicum can be replaced by other alternative and innovative learning activities that can be offered online. We are now exploring also subscription to virtual simulation apps and other simulation programs that can be downloaded for free. So that is what we are busy with now, because definitely hard skills like injection and the like cannot be done simply through modules. We still believe that there's a need for some limited face-to-face, probably before the end of next school year. So this is what we are busy with right now. So ang aking professional life naman, well, I started, of course, my experience being a school nurse at BSU, Benguet State University. Eventually, I became a staff nurse at the SLU Hospital. And the rest of my life, the rest of my 34 years at SLU, is as a faculty, eventually as a department head, a graduate program coordinator, and a dean up to this time, up to my retirement in July next year. So, as I said, aside from my current professional endeavors at school, I'm very active as one of the nursing leaders. Nakita nyo naman dyan, si Dr. Castor, si Carmen, and some of the nursing leaders advocating talaga for our nurses. And the Cordillera has been known really for strong leadership. Kaya nga ang tawag sa amin ni Castor, si Ruth, Baguio Braves, because talagang matatapang yata mga taga-Cordillera, although hindi ako Cordillera, lumaki ako sa Cordillera. Pinaglalaban talaga namin ang nararapat. Okay, and that's something I'm very proud of. Okay, and during the pandemic, SLU and the Association of Deans of Philippine Colleges of Nursing has been an active member of the Cordillera Nurses Brigade for COVID, where we solicited money or in kind from good-hearted people, including our SLU alumni in group or by batch. And we donated some of these to the different hospitals, including SLU. Umabot pa ang mga donations natin sa mga Benguet hospitals, RHUs. Eventually, our efforts were recognized by Mayor Magalong and DOH CAR. And so when they already started to need nurses for Santo Niño Hospital, that eventually became the Baguio City COVID facility, the Cordillera Nurses Brigade was tapped to screen applicants, nurse applicants to man the Santo Niño Hospital. Okay, the other part of my professional career is leading the Association of Deans of Philippine Colleges of Nursing, where I serve as president for the last 3 years, I think 2 years. So our role is to serve as vanguards of the nursing education. And to do that, we had to organize several conferences and webinars to train our faculty and our deans in the Philippines. So recently, because of COVID, all of our activities are done through Zoom meetings. So we had webinars on flexible learning. And again, we have an upcoming conference this weekend on relevant education-related topics as well. So ito ang major role ng association. And because of my role as the national president of the Association of Deans of Philippine Colleges of Nursing, I was part of the technical working group that drafted the nursing bill, a more enhanced nursing bill. And we just had our public consultation among nurses last September. And we invited all nurses and other stakeholders to this technical working group, to this public orientation. Right now, the bill is, of course, in Congress. We're supposed to have a session with the lower house, the Congress, nitong October. But because I think you know what happened in Congress with the issue of leadership, na cancel lahat ng mga hearing sa Congress tungkol dito sa bill na to. Primarily, I am advocating for the component of nursing education in this bill. Okay, and of course, the other benefits that nurses should get. So that is for the nursing law. At kasama na po dito yung push natin that the salary grade 15 will be not just for the government nurses, but also for the private nurses, because I think the Filipino nurses deserve that as well. Now, I'm also the chair of the working group in the education sector that is drafting the policies, guidelines, qualifications, and competencies for the career progression program. And you can see here, sorry for the wrong spelling there, that the Board of Nursing is currently working on the recognition of nurses as advanced nurse practitioners in the 3 tracks. The first track will be on the leadership track. So we will be recognizing middle and executive nurse leaders. In the specialization track, we will eventually have Advanced Nurse Practitioner 1 and Advanced Nurse Practitioner 2. In the education track, where I am currently involved, we actually have submitted our proposal for competencies and qualifications for nurse educator to qualify as advanced nurse educator, and eventually a nurse educator specialist, following the Philippine qualifications framework. So hopefully in that next year or two, ma-approve na itong mga specialization track by the Board of Nursing, and eventually may marirecognize na tayong mga advanced nurse practitioners sa Pilipinas. Now, the issue of whether this is acceptable to the medical department, sa mga doctors natin, we already had sessions with the Association of sa medical association group. And they actually welcome the idea because we will be needing these expert nurses, especially in areas where there are no doctors or where there are very limited doctors. And this is also in support of the Universal Healthcare Law that was also recently enacted. So, ang sabi ng Board of Nursing when we submitted our proposal for the nursing education track, medyo okay na yung atin sa nursing education, but for the other specialty groups who are supposed to come up with other proposals for qualifications and competencies, mukhang hindi pa maayos. So we are foreseeing that in a year or two, probably in 2 years' time, when this will be formalized, then we will have a separate recognition for advanced nurse practitioners. Now, the Association of Deans have also gone international. We also benchmarked with some international universities, and these best practices are shared to the different deans and faculty in the Philippines to learn from. And we also have, of course, some engagements like partnership with PNAA and PNA. The last international conference we had was in Boracay. And in the picture is, of course, representative of PNA by Dr. Castor Palaganas as the president then. And of course, Madeline was representing PNAA for an agreement to support and protect the planet. Okay. So, andyan din po si Dr. Tung An as one of the witnesses to this agreement. One of my professional hat is being a member of the CHED Technical Committee for Nursing Education, where I am a member. And in the picture are the other members of the CHED Technical Committee for Nursing Education. We were instrumental in developing and seeking approval for the new CMO for nursing education, the new PSG for Bachelor of Science in Nursing, which was approved in 2017, which primarily focused on outcomes-based education as an approach. This is an approach where we first determine what are the expected and the appropriate professional competencies that a nurse should possess. And we put this forward. We put these competencies forward. We convert it into learning outcomes. And everything we do in education will now depend on the attainment of these learning outcomes. There are other CHED memos that we have actually proposed, and one of those that we are now finalizing is the policies and guidelines for graduate education programs in nursing that will eventually set standards on what bachelor's programs and doctorate program will be recognized by CHED. Okay. One of our role also is to visit nursing schools to make sure that they meet the minimum standards required of the PSG to be recognized and be given COPC, that is recognition given to state universities. And this is one picture of one visit we had in, anong lugar na ba ito? Sa Mindanao ito eh. Okay, so ganyan po ang aming mga trabaho, nagvi-visit ng schools. So if we find a school not qualifying or not meeting standards, we recommend these schools to be closed. And for the last 3 years that I'm a member of the CHED Technical Committee, we were able to recommend about 24 or 26 nursing schools to be closed. And this is one way of ensuring that quality nursing education in the Philippines is maintained. Okay, so given those opportunities, I also had the chance of being invited as speakers in several national and regional and international conferences. And I'm very happy of this opportunity to share. I think that's the last slide because mas magandang interactive na lang tayo sa mga ibang queries ninyo. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. Okay, I give the floor back to the moderator. Yes.
Thank you so much for your kwento. When do you find time to have fun? You wear so many hats.
I still have fun. Eventually, in the process, I learned to manage my time and set priorities. I learned to say no when needed. Kasi syempre, issue talaga yan. Pero through the years, you learn really to manage your time.
Well, your stories and everything that you and our previous leaders represent continue to inspire us. You inspired me a long time ago when I was your student, and you still continue to inspire many others that have been following your lead through these many years. I hope to grow up like you when I grow old. When I grow up.
Ito, lumalabas na nga ang white hair, pero I like it that way.
Well, so now for the second half of our Zoomustahan event, we would like to open this session to all participants for a question and answer portion. For anyone who would like to ask Dean Grace a question, please unmute yourself. After you are finished with your question, please resume your mute mode. If you have a question and you would prefer not to speak, you may type your question in the chat box and our chat master, Dr. Cristan Sabio, will read your question for you. We will also have 3 trivia questions as icebreakers related to SLU history. And just for a disclaimer, we obtained all questions from and answers from the SLU website, so they are true. Hindi po made up. We will ask each question, alternating them in between 2 to 3 questions, 2 to 3 of your questions to Dean Grace. And please take note, each trivia question answered correctly is equivalent to a prize. It's not a lot, but it is still a prize. So for those who live in the US, we will send you a $10 Starbucks gift card.
Wow.
For those in the Philippines, we will send you 500 pesos. Muntik ko nang sabihin dollars. 500 pesos through Zoom, XOOM.
Wow.
Our webmaster, Ma'am Grace, hindi ka kasama sa trivia ha, kasi alam mo.
I know.
Our webmaster, Minette Reyes, from class of 1994, will keep track of the names of the winners and will forward your names and email addresses to our treasurer. So, tunay po ito. It's not a fake news. So, to those who would like to ask a question, you may unmute now, and please resume your mute mode once you are done asking your question. Sino po ang una? You may ask a question. If you're still thinking of your question, I have a question, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I
Okay,
think Anne-Marie
so
was raising her hand.
oh,
Anne-Marie?
was she?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Sorry. Anne-Marie, go ahead.
So, you know how we used to have yung, what do you call that? Yung qualification for yung sa first year, second year. Do you still
Yeah.
have students now? So how many students do you have right now?
Yes, we're still very strict with our admission policies. Actually, before the school year started, we had about 2,000 applicants, but we only got 350. And of course, we have very rigid qualifications. We look at the results of the SLU college entrance exams, and of course, their average scores. 350 lang yan. Gusto pa nila itaas namin, pero sabi namin hindi. We're not after the number, we're after the quality. At the moment, we have 1,100 nursing students for the first year, second year, and third year. So mga 300 to 350 per batch. Wala tayong fourth year ngayon because as you know, when the education system in the Philippines was enhanced, for 2 years natira ang high school students sa senior high, grade 11 and grade 12. So for 2 years, walang pumasok sa university. So wala tayong fourth years ngayon, and we have 1,100. That's still a big population compared to other schools who only have less than one section per year level. And again, that's an advantage of knowing that SLU is a quality school, so most of the students would like to enroll at SLU.
Good to know, ma'am.
Yeah.
Dina, thank you for seeing her hand. Anyone else? Is there any other question? Sir Kristan, is there any question in the chat box?
Hi, can I say something before I leave? Hi. And
Yes, po.
Pete,
thank you for the invitation, participating in this event. Dino can speak well of what we are planning in the background. Thank you again, because I am going to attend another meeting at 6 o'clock. So, but it looks like we will gonna have to have the Zoomustahan UST edition. So we will adopt probably the same name, because Dino knows what we are planning in the future. So it will be Zoomustahan also, but it will be the UST edition. Thank you, and see you again soon. Thanks, Ma'am Grace.
Bye, Pete.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you, Sir Peter.
Thank you, Sir Peter.
Thank you.
By the way, Pete just registered as an associate member the other day, so he is officially a paying member. One of our
Thank you,
very
Pete.
first, we now have 3 associate members, and he's one of those 3. The other one is here right now. Well, Pete Calixto, for those who are not aware, he is from UST. And the other person here too is an associate member, is Charina Tinio from Titana Manila
College.
Colleges, right? Yeah. So, and the other associate member is Dr. Bernal, who is the current president of the UST Nursing Association International. But he's not here. Yeah, so like what I always say, you know, collaboration is the key to our continued success in the future. And what Pete Calixto was saying, we are brewing a collaborative event next year with the UP Nursing Alumni International, the UST Nursing International, and SLU Nursing International.
Wow, that's
Stay
great.
tuned. There will be a big event next year.
That is
with
a
these
big
3
event.
Yeah, the
What
top
do you call that, Dino? What do you call that group?
That's a secret for now. We don't wanna reveal it.
Okay.
But that will
All
be next year. It will be
Okay.
something to look forward to from the top nursing schools in the Philippines. Those 3.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Is there anyone else that would like to ask Dean Grace a question? Anyone? Dino, do you see a hand?
no.
No? Sir Kristan, is there any question in the chat box?
Yeah. What about so Ma'am Lacanaria, where do our graduates usually go? Is there enough employment for nurses in the Philippines to practice their craft, or do most of our graduates still look for overseas employment?
Well, we're proud to say that for those who graduated last school year, about 97% of them are already employed in the first 3 months after they secured their license. Many of them would like to start, of course, their employment in the Philippines, especially if they're not PhilAm. But for the PhilAm students, they eventually go to the US after they take the board exam here because they believe it would be easier to get employed there if they have a Philippine license here. Where do they go? They're all around. But let's say about 30% are working in the Philippines. The rest are now working in different parts of the world.
I think we have a raised hand.
Yep, I saw
Joshua.
that. Joshua.
Hi, I'm Lacanaria. Hi, everyone. How you guys doing?
Hi,
Hi.
Joshua.
I miss you, ma'am. So nice to see you.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
same batch as your son. So, my question
Okay.
is, right now, actually, a lot of the Western hospitals are using EMR, electronic medical records. I'm actually specializing in that. I've been
Oh.
a clinical informaticist. So I kind of veered away from nursing, but not really, because I have to argue, of course, with
Mhm.
doctors and graduate nurses. My question is there any way that you can at least give a little, I don't know, not emphasis, but a little rundown course, just to make a lot of our nurses or new grads be able to easily grasp what EMR is.
Oh yeah, that is actually well recognized in the new curriculum that is now being implemented in the Philippines. One of the program outcome is techno-intelligent skills. This is something new, and to achieve this, we already have one particular course. We call it Nursing Informatics, which has a lecture component and a laboratory component. And to let you know that many of the hospitals here are already implementing EMR, including our SLU hospital. And so we are now in the process of coordinating with SLU hospital so that our students as well can chart in the EMR of the hospital. But there are some issues there because the EMR is supposed to be handled by the employees of the hospital. But the fact that it is a training hospital, we are now negotiating with them, and we are now in the process of requesting for the purchase of at least 10 computers connected to the EMR that our students can use for their charting. That will also go to the how do you call this, to the main EMR system, because in place of the nurses charting, when students are assigned to patients, it's the students who chart for the patients that they handle. So these are things that we are negotiating right now. We actually have ongoing trainings now for nursing informatics for the nursing faculty. There's one being organized by UP School of Nursing. And yes, we're happy to say that although we are far from what the US and other countries are doing, we are moving slowly. And hopefully we can cope up with all the technologies that the other countries have as well. So we only started, even in the previous curriculum, for 2009 curriculum, we already have nursing informatics course, but at that time the lab component is taught by the IT people. This time the lab component is taught by nurses themselves, and the focus now is on hospital information system, other nursing informatic programs. So we're moving slowly. And yes, we will eventually need your help, kayong mga experts sa IT. I know Minette also is in nursing informatics. Eventually, we will be tapping you to train our faculty and probably organize a seminar on informatics alone. So thank you for sharing your expertise, and hopefully we can tap you too in the future.
Yeah, Josh and I can
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am,
collaborate.
definitely. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you if you need assistance when it comes to that, because from what you just told me, it sounds like you don't really need computers. All you need is to pretty much talk to your IT personnel to get student clearance passes or just names, student one, student two to student 10. You don't need a computer. You just need them to get their own student access and then to put their
Wow.
initials and then you keep changing it afterwards. But if you
Wow.
can give
Well,
me provide me what kind of software you're using, I can definitely code everything and I'll do it for free.
wow.
For
Thank you.
free.
We will definitely appreciate that. So Joshua and Minette, that's our next project, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. No
Joshua,
problem. Anytime. Anytime. Yes, ma'am.
Joshua, anong batch ka?
He's my batchmate.
Yeah, no. Yung
Oh,
cute
Oh
na
my God,
bata.
our babies. So there's another
We're
baby
all
from
babies.
2006.
Yes po.
Four.
Sweet.
Mga
actually,
millennials.
actually, ang
Okay.
2006 na yan, memorable batch yan eh, and they know it.
Hey, Minette, you may want to tap Joshua for your committee. Minette is the current chair of website and technology for SLUNAAI.
Wow.
So,
I need
Look, she's doing a good job already. She doesn't need me.
no, I mean, she needs like a committee members. It's not a
Yeah.
one-man show. She needs like 4 people. So, okay, that's good.
Right. All right. Well, I see Karen's hand, but I'm going to pause here for a moment so we can do a trivia question. But I'm going to get back to Karen. You'll be the first. Yeah, you'll be your first question once we get done with the first trivia question.
Do we just have to type in our answer?
For the trivia question?
Yes.
No, you'll just have to raise your hand.
First come, first
Oh,
serve.
that's right. You know, that's a good question. I guess you could utilize the reaction emoji. Whoever raises her hand first will be the first person to be given the
That's
opportunity.
right.
Yeah.
But we have hands up already for
Yeah.
the next questions.
Okay, so Karen's the first one for the.
No, you have to like
question.
put it down. His
I
hand.
lowered my hand na.
I think Joshua's hand is already up. How do we turn it? How do we put it down?
How do you turn it off?
Like,
I think
there's
you just have to
there's
press.
raised hand and lower hand.
You
There
have
you
the
go.
option. There's another option.
Okay, it's there. Okay, it's down. Okay.
Okay, Minette will do the first trivia question. Okay, for our first trivia question, Mom Grace actually talked about this in one of her slides. So there are 4 campuses at the St. Louis University. Ang alam ko lang noon isa, back in 1990. Please name all 4 campuses. Sino ang nag-raise ng hand? I don't see it.
I knew the question. I was gonna cheat earlier to Google it, but I forgot. But
Is there someone raising their hand? I can't see.
I think so. Like Joshua.
Me. Definitely.
Joshua?
Adenauer.
Okay.
Yes, that's me. I know it by heart. Adenauer
Okay.
is where we're from.
But we need 4 campuses, not
Yes.
buildings. We need the 4 campuses.
Oh. So
There
SLU main
are-
building, Bakaking building.
So Adenauer is in a campus. So we
Correct.
need,
So that's,
there are
that's the
4
main
different
campus.
Yep, that is correct.
Then we have the one in center, by Bonifacio Street.
That is, well, okay,
The Bakaking campus,
okay.
and
What do
the
you call
one
that?
in
Do you know the name of the Bakaking campus?
no, I thought it was buildings. I'm sorry. I'm lowering my hand.
Anyone
I
else?
thought you meant buildings.
No, campuses. 4, we have 4 campuses. Can you believe St. Louis University owns 59 acres, totaling 59 acres for these 4 campuses. Si
Wow.
Ma'am, alam ni Ma'am Grace yan.
Exempted ako eh.
Is there anyone raising their hand? I can't see. Oh,
In the Bali,
two participants raised their hand. Who's
In
the
Bali,
other
Ma'am-
one?
In the Bali, Ma'am
Vince,
Grace, pag uwi sa
Vince.
Pilipinas,
Oh,
pinipita lang kita ng Starbucks, Ma'am Grace.
Wow, thank you, Dino.
Vince. Go ahead,
Vince.
Vince.
Main campus, Gonzaga campus, Navy Base campus, and Mary Heights.
Like I should see
We have a winner.
Wow.
Woo! Yes, the main
Salamat
campus.
sa Google.
Yep, main campus of Bonifacio Street, the Gonzaga campus, General Luna, Navy Base, of course, and Mary Heights sa Barangay Bakaking.
Mary Heights.
Okay, yes. So that's our first trivia question. Now we're gonna get back to Karen for her question.
Like, Mom Grace, I have two questions.
Hi. Yeah.
If we do mission, like, health missions in the Philippines, do we need a Philippine license or no?
No. Actually, we already had several medical missions or extension works with some alumni batches and even with PNAA, some chapters of PNAA. You coordinate with us and we make the needed local arrangements here. And then, except if part of the medical mission is doing surgeries, then we need to get a temporary license from the PRC, which we can also facilitate. They will just need a copy of your license in the US. And I think a certification from your local partner, and we can also readily do that if needed.
And then, Mom, like, my Philippine license ako, but I never renewed it. Wala na yun. Can't even renew.
You can actually still, I don't know if you can still
you
renew your
can.
Philippine license.
I did renew my license after so many years. It was inactive. I did renew it.
Okay, how much is the surcharge? Do you know?
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot?
If you convert it to dollars, it's not really a lot. So
okay.
And
Well,
now
yeah,
because there's
yep.
How many years did you let it pass?
And what units, like, do we need to prove, continuing education?
Yes, for the renewal of the Philippine license, yes, but at the moment that is suspended because of the COVID and some other requirements. Even the other CPD requirements are suspended. You can actually, if you cannot show evidence of CPD units, you can just fill up a letter. It's like a promissory note that you can submit the compliance to the CPD units at a given time. So there is a group, a CPD council. Actually, I'm a member of that CPD council that reviews certificates for trainings and seminars, and we assign CPD units for that.
So I just want to let go ahead. Sorry.
Dino may know the other requirements. I'm not very privy on the other requirements.
Because I started renewing it like 4 years ago, after so many years, since 1995 that I have it inactive, after like probably 15 years. I started. It's not a lot of money. It's less than $100 for the surcharge. Siguro 3,000 pesos lang ata. And then every 2 years, in fact, mine is due again to be renewed this December. And
every 3 years, Dina.
Every 3 years,
right. Yeah.
And I was going to ask Mom Grace, because I do know that a couple years ago, they started to require CPD. And now I'm about to renew it in December. Other than the CPD I got from the Global Summit and Boracay, I think I need more. But it's a good info, Mom Grace. I guess promissory note lang.
Yeah. Actually, even your certificates of training in the US can be shown as evidence, and
okay.
Some of at about 5 or 10 units of that can be recognized in the Philippines as part of self-directed learning. Pwede yon. And you can actually apply online, both for renewal, and you can submit the documents there as well. And then you can just, even the payment can be done online. Yeah, you can check the PRC.
I had to
check
apply
the PRC website. Yeah.
In the interest of time, I just want to let everyone know it is 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's 9 a.m. in the Philippines. We would like to extend another 15 to 20 minutes. Looks like our discussion here is very interesting, and I'd hate for it to stop. So if everyone is okay, we'd like to extend for another 15 to 20 minutes. And we have another question already. We have somebody raised their hand, Marivic.
Dean, I know
a great passing percentage for us, 100%. Are we doing a review in school? Local review?
We have our review program, but we don't force our graduates to enroll in our review program. It's optional because we believe that upon graduation, they're ready to take the board exam. But you know, the culture in the Philippines is you need to take review classes. So we started organizing our review program, but this is open to graduates of any nursing school in the Philippines. We had experiences of graduates in Visayas, Mindanao, and NCR coming to SLU for our review program. And we're very happy to say that of those graduates from other schools who were failing the board exam for the past 3, 4, 7 times, when they review at SLU, they pass the board exam. So that's another extension program that we have at SLU, to share our expertise and our resources to other graduates in the Philippines, other nursing graduates in the Philippines.
That's great to know. May as well, we've got a lot of students going out trying to get into abroad and take the NCLEX in the US or for Canada. Do you plan to extend the review program to somewhere like that? My specialty right now is NCLEX prep. I am an NCLEX reviewer, so I could possibly help one way or another to expand the program somehow.
Wow, that's actually part of our strategic plan for our review program. Once we're ready for that, we will know whom to contact from, of course, our friends from abroad. By the way, earlier I said that SLU is now offering our programs through distance learning, both online and through correspondence. Some of you may even be interested to apply as visiting lecturers. After all, it is online courses for the second semester that would start in January and end in May, especially because up to this time, we still need nursing faculty. And so because we cannot hire enough, we are overloading our existing faculty. So this may be something that our alumni and Marivic and the rest can also think about for those who are not too busy with work. In the US, you may want to apply as visiting lecturers. To be a visiting lecturer, you're given less than 18 units load. You may even decide to just have 2 loads, so that's 6 units, and hold the courses online, probably an hour and a half per day only for 2 or 3 days, depending on the courses that will be assigned to you. So please consider, mga kapatid. Thank you.
That's nice to know. That's nice to know. We could probably, I am willing to teach. I'm teaching right now in a community college, and I've been teaching online too for quite a while. So I think this would be one way to give back to our graduates or to our future graduates.
Thank you, Marivic, and for the rest who may be thinking about this too. Thank you. I'd like to comment on one comment in the chat box. When I shared about the cost of the high fidelity simulation that we got, it's 4.5 million. And I saw a comment that in the US, it's much cheaper. Maybe this is also something where we will need your help. If you can help recommend some high fidelity mannequins and some other learning resources that we can purchase directly from the companies in the US. If the cost is cheaper, even if you add the shipping cost, then this may be something that we can recommend to our finance office to consider, because that's what we do with books. If the local book companies are showing us their price quotation and compare it to the price quotation of probably US book companies, the book companies in the US even have much cheaper prices, even if you include the shipping costs. And so in many cases, we are purchasing books directly from US companies already. So that's probably what we can do for the mannequins as well, if you have access to this information that we can explore. Thank you.
We could also probably, you mentioned about some learning possibilities like simulations. We could probably send information about virtual simulations that could help the college as well.
Oh, yes, thank you. Actually, we're now exploring some free virtual simulation programs that we can use to supplement the learning of our students right now, especially because that's one of our struggles, how we can substitute the clinical rotation that they are now missing to be able to develop the clinical competencies. So this is one struggle that we have right now. And those will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Grace. Thank you, Marivic. Minette, I think yes, Dina.
No, just very quick, Ma'am Grace, is there like a document that spells out this visiting like faculty or the one that you mentioned that you could send? That
Oh,
we could
yeah.
kinda like,
Yes. Because when you're a visiting professor, you're not really employed in the real sense
yeah.
at SLU.
Yeah.
But we have a contract for all visiting professors. They are given honorarium per hour of service. And for a given term, like for one
Okay.
semester only, that
Opo.
can be renewed, of course. So meron tayong contract. I can send a copy of the template and you can
Opo.
probably share to
You
those who
can,
will be
yeah, you can probably
interested.
send it to
Yeah.
Dr. K, and then Dr. K
Yeah.
will distribute it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because we're now preparing for the second semester that starts in January, third week of January until May. And we will appreciate if we can tap some of you for some courses. Of course, your area of interest. The courses we have for the second semester are, of course, we have fundamentals of nursing, health assessment. We have maternal and child nursing. And then we have psychiatric nursing, adult health, medical surgical nursing, and research as well. So
I was just wondering,
And-
Ma'am, I was just wondering like what
yes,
area,
Anne.
kasi kami na we're under specialties now. So like me,
Yeah.
would be cardiology. So if you need topics on cardiology and procedures, I can do that. Pero yun nga, if you can give us yung, I don't know, kung saan kami pwedeng sumali.
Sige, pwede. Kasi sa medical surgical nursing by concepts yan. Oxygenation will cover yung cardio, hema, and respi. Parang ganyan. Cancer, pero pang first sem yun. Second semester will be on critical care nursing, perception and coordination sa neuro, ang MS, metabolism, GI naman yon, yung mga ganon. Sige, we will share you the courses for the second sem as well. Sige, that's good.
Yeah, ma'am, kasi interest Tessa Biduya, I know she's in research, so.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes, Dean Grace, and so this is Kay, and so we are going to, I teach at the university. What we can do is to create a curriculum so that we can pass it on depending on who's the alumni that will be willing to teach. So we have already a template, a syllabus that's ready to go. So that rather than having them redo the curriculum the syllabus each time. So we can set it up and pass it along.
That's good. Actually, we're now in the process of preparing the learning packets, just like I showed in one of the pictures. And should there be some who will be interested to join us, then they can work with our faculty team to develop the learning packets ready for implementation for the second semester. Thank you, Kay.
That was very interesting. Good conversation. Go ahead, Sir Kristen. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, that's really a great idea. So I like yung, if you're interested or what your specialty is, by topics. Like, for example, I teach one of the universities here sa Illinois, and I do med surg, and then of course research. I also have a PhD, so I do research and stuff. So I can teach like, little portions like respiratory, cardiac, CAD and stuff. So, one topic, I don't really mind, like, a week or so, or a couple of weeks of online teaching. A full semester, probably not. I cannot commit to that. Pero kung yung mga ganon, like one
concepts,
session, Yeah, two sciences. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, same here in Lacanaria. If you're
Okay.
yes, if you're thinking about guest lecturing, I'll be able to do that because
Wow.
Yale University School of Nursing. I just did some revision of their GERO program on the primary care in the primary care division. So I will be able
Wow.
to with that with the GERO. If down the road you are considering doing the APN program.
Thank you, Ma'am Offie. Thank you.
Thank you so
I'm sure
much.
there are also other alumni. So yes, I will communicate with Kay, share the template of the contract and the courses and probably concepts per courses, and hopefully there will be some who can commit. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean Grace.
Minette, maybe we can do another round of trivia before we can ask one more round of question. If there's another question that we can ask in the
Sure.
interest of time.
Hold, please.
Yes, Minette.
Para kang flight
Okay.
stewardess.
Mom Grace also talked about this in one of her slides. She mentioned about colors. And so about the university seal, she has the seal above her head. What are the colors of the university seal? Okay, who's raising their hand? Naku, dalawa.
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie. Si Marivic ba o si Anne-Marie?
Si Marivic ata eh.
Dalawa na lang sila. Si Anne-Marie ang
Sorry, I'm
sasagot ng color. We have those are two questions. What are the colors? And what do the colors symbolize?
Oh, you could ask Anne-Marie.
Okay, Anne-Marie, what are the colors and what do they symbolize?
Okay, the colors are white and blue, and they symbolize the colors of the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Okay, so, okay,
Tama ba yun?
perfect. So white and blue, that is correct. So the white and blue symbolizes the white and blue stands for the colors of the Blessed Virgin Mary. However, the white and the blue still symbolizes something else. There is a meaning. Well, you already showed it.
The earth and man, and blue heaven and God.
Sorry.
$5. $5.
Only
Naku,
$5.
Anne-Marie.
Okay, I have it here.
Anne-Marie, kape lang yun. Walang asukal at cream, ha?
Oh, sige, walang black coffee.
May nagsabi $5 lang daw, $5.
Hindi. You just donate it na lang for the next, next Zoomustahan. Yung $5.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do one more round. Just one more question for the interest of time. Is there any other person that would like to ask Dean Grace a question?
Me. I don't know how to raise my hand.
Okay, go ahead, Minette.
Yeah, ako rin eh. Wala akong option to raise my hand. I don't know.
It's on the reaction.
So,
IT pa nito
kababain. All right. So this is actually a question I sent ahead of time. So, Ma'am Grace, you've had a very, very successful career and earned a significant level of influence as a thought leader in nursing, not just in Baguio but all over the world. So, if given the chance to do something over, what would you do differently and why?
Oh,
Sabi, pang Miss Universe.
Pang Miss Universe. Ang lola. Ang taray, ha?
Honestly, I don't think there's any, because I believe that my journey as a professional nurse and how things are, even in Philippine education, was there for a reason. And all this provided opportunities for nurses and other nurses as well to rise up and contribute to these changes. Siyempre, hindi mo masasabing perfect ang nursing sa Pilipinas ngayon, marami rin kaming frustrations and so on, but what's important is you don't give up, and in any way you can help and contribute to help improve how things are, then we will do that. After all, we also have other nursing leaders who are also equally competent, equally committed. Andyan, nakita ko, andyan si Sir Roger Tongan, sina Caster, sina Ruth, and some other leaders also who can, help improve things. Kasi mahirap din mangarap na alam mo hindi rin lang mangyayari. So, allow things to go and then continue to help the way you can. Ganun na lang. And influence others to do the same too. Yun na lang. Sabi nga ni Dino kanina, collaboration is very important. And I think that is what we need now in Philippine nursing education right now. Yung pagtutulungan ng iba-ibang talents, iba-ibang commitment, iba-ibang ideas. So, ganun po. Papasa na ba sa Miss Universe question?
Pwede ma'am.
Dagdagan nyo na lang po ng dagdagan nyo lang ng world peace, then you're gonna win.
And then you say, I thank you.
Okay.
May nanalo na.
Uwian na.
Mom, thank you so much for giving us your precious time, and for everyone. I'm sure that a lot more people have a lot of questions. I still have some questions, but for the interest of time, your precious time and everybody's time, maybe we can ask more questions in the future.
And you can always connect with me sa Messenger, sa FB, sa email. No problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we end, we'd like to plug in some announcements. Our next Zoomustahan, we're already planning our next Zoomustahan for November 14. This is a Saturday at 5 p.m. Featured speakers for this are Hazel Sumabat Quinones. She's a Regional Human Resources Director for Prime Healthcare, and our very own Dr. Cristan Sabio, Assistant Professor for Northern Illinois University. They will talk about tools and tips for today's nursing job market. Thanks, Minette. Our next event, please watch out for more details coming out regarding SLUNAAI's Pamasko para sa Nurses. This will be held at the SLU Hospital of the Sacred Heart on December 14. Please watch out for more information at the SLUNAAI website. And if you would like to support this cause, please visit www.slunai.org/donate. And for the last plugin, I think we're officially set. Please visit slunai.org website. Watch out for the official face mask initiative. We are going to be selling this face mask with the St. Louis University logo. Again, the colors of blue and white. Yan po ang aming plug-in. So, looks like third trivia, wala na po kaming time for third trivia. For next time na lang po. So we're very grateful for your time. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first Zoomustahan event. Thank you to all the alumni, family, and friends who joined us today. It's been a pleasure to be a part of such a memorable event. For those who would like to stay for a moment to socialize, please feel free to do so. And again, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Dean Grace.
Thank you to all. Nice to see you all.
Thank you for sharing your story and your precious time.
Thank you, Dean Grace.
Thank you, Ma'am Grace. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you to all.
I also want to thank Minette for her help and expertise in information and technology. Joshua, maybe you can help us. Dr. Dino Doliente for all of his patience, wisdom, and support. Dr. Cristan Sabio for volunteering to be our chat master, and Dr. K for her talent, support, and patience and wisdom. Thank you all.
Thank you, Miss Annie.
Great job.
Thank you so much. Great job.
Bye-bye.
We'd just like to acknowledge quickly, si Dr. Roger Tongan. He's a little shy this morning, kariring na
Yeah, Roger, hello.
Hello, Sir Roger. Nagpakita ka na.
Thank you.
Just woke up ang peg niya.
Yeah.
And Ruth is also there. Show your face, Ruth.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Ruth,
right. Ma'am
hello,
Ruth is here
hello.
too.
Yes.
Oh, there's
Mom Ruth, sorry, we should have acknowledged you. Would like to acknowledge the presence of Mom Ruth.
Yeah, nandun na si
Hello,
Roger, nagpakita na. Kariring na.
Ang pay nakadigos.
Ayun. Hi, Roger.
For the
Thank you.
history books, our first
Wow.
one.
Thank
Yeah.
you, thank
Dean
you.
Grace.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Thanks everyone. Mom Grace, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Right,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
Mabuhay
much.
kayong lahat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Ma'am
Sir
Ruth.
Thank you.
Roger.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mom Ruth. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Mindy from UST.
Ay,
Thanks,
See
Dean
you.
Grace.
So let's get connected.
Dean
Sige.
Grace will wait for the information on the visiting professors. So it
Yeah,
looks like
okay.
many people are interested.
Okay. I'll make a write-up and send it to you.
Thanks, Dean Grace.
Thank you,
Yes,
Vincent,
yes.
for attending. Hintay mo yung Starbucks mo.
Vincent, thank you.
Si Ann,
For joining.
yung kape niya walang gatas and sugar.
Puntahan na lang kita, ate. We live in Phoenix. Dalawa kami.
Magkape na lang tayong dalawa.
Yes.
Tama.
Alright, nice to see
Okay.
you.
And
Ma'am.
later, Annie, I can give you more trivia questions about SLU and the School of Nursing for your
Naku,
future Zoomustahan.
Mas mahirap.
Yes.